Hi guys, this is QuoteGuy, and today we mourn the loss of Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa, the trailblazing Tokyo-born, Japanese-American actor and martial artist who became Hollywood's ultimate charismatic villain, while living as a real-life healer, philanthropist, cultural bridge between the East and Hollywood, and Orthodox Christian seeker until his death on December 4, 2025 at age 75. Cary-Hiroyuki passed away in the early morning hours at his home in Santa Barbara, California, from stroke complications, surrounded by his children, son Callan and daughters Bryn and Kana. Cary-Hiroyuki was remembered as a warm mentor despite his on-screen menace, famously known as the reliable and cunning villain Shang Tsung in 1995's Mortal Kombat. His legacy endures in tributes from co-stars and fans worldwide. As American artist-filmmaker Andy Warhol said, "The idea is not to live forever, but to create something that will." Let's look at the immense impact to the world Cary-Hiroyuki has made in his luminous life. First, here are the 5 most famous movies featuring Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa, ranked by global recognition, cultural impact, and how often they're associated with his legacy. 1. Mortal Kombat, 1995, as Shang Tsung, the definitive Tagawa performance. His iconic line, "Your soul is mine," and sinister charisma made him the face of the film for millions of fans. Still the role he's most recognized for worldwide, 3 decades later. 2. Pearl Harbor, 2001, as Commander Minoru Genda. One of the biggest blockbuster films of the early 2000s, directed by Michael Bay, starring Ben Affleck and Kate Beckinsale. Cary-Hiroyuki played the brilliant Japanese naval strategist behind the attack, a rare sympathetic high-ranking imperial officer in a major Hollywood war film. 3. Planet of the Apes, 2001, as General Thade's second-in-command, Krull. Tim Burton's controversial remake gave Hiroyuki a memorable supporting role alongside Tim Roth and Mark Wahlberg. His intense presence in heavy ape makeup left a strong impression despite the film's mixed reception. 4. Memoirs of a Geisha, 2005, as the Baron. Cary-Hiroyuki portrayed the wealthy, elegant, and slightly menacing patron of Sayuri, Zhang Ziyi. Though a smaller role, the film's Oscar wins and global visibility made this one of his most visually striking and widely seen dramatic performances. 5. The Last Emperor, 1987, as Chang, eunuch attendant. Cary-Hiroyuki's actual screen debut in a major film, Bernardo Bertolucci's Best Picture Oscar winner. While not a lead, being part of this sweeping historical epic, 9 Oscars, launched Cary-Hiroyuki's career and remains a prestigious credit few actors can claim. Now that we know about Cary-Hiroyuki's most distinguished films, before anything, let's look at the name and origin of our Top Gun. Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa, Tianchuan Yangxing. Cary is a Western name given by his Japanese mother as a tribute to Hollywood legend Cary Grant. Hiroyuki, Yangxing, is a common Japanese male name with a strong, elegant meaning. Yang, hero, doesn't actually mean hero. Hero means ocean, vast, or Western foreign culture. Xing, Yuki, means to go, journey, or conduct oneself. Together, Hiroyuki literally means one who journeys across the vast ocean, or a person of broad worldly conduct. It perfectly reflects his actual life, born in Tokyo, raised between Japan and America, and becoming a bridge between Eastern and Western worlds. Tagawa, Tianchuan, is a real Japanese surname. Tian Ta means rice field. Chuan, Gawa Kawa, means river, a river by the rice fields. A scenic, traditional Japanese family name. So Cary's full name poetically translates to something like Cary, the vast ocean traveler from the Riverfield family. A name that unknowingly foretold his entire cross-cultural destiny. After the name, we look at the origin and roots of Cary-Hiroyuki. Cary-Hiroyuki's father's name is unknown. We just know that he was born in the United States to Japanese immigrant parents, raised in Hawaii or the mainland. He also served in the U.S. Army during the post-WFW occupation of Japan, stationed in Tokyo, where he met Tagawa's mother there. Cary-Hiroyuki's dad influence. He gave Cary-Hiroyuki the strict military upbringing, army brat life, and constant moves between U.S. bases, North Carolina, Texas, etc., and the American half of his identity. Cary-Hiroyuki's mother, Mariko Hata, was born in Tokyo and came from an aristocratic Japanese family. She was a well-known Broadway-style stage actress in post-war Japan who scandalized her family by running away to pursue theater instead of an arranged marriage. Her influence on Cary-Hiroyuki: Mariko named him Cary, after Cary Grant, and his older brother after Gregory Peck, both tributes to classic Hollywood. Mariko passed on acting genes and dramatic flair. Mariko taught Cary-Hiroyuki Japanese language, culture, and the arts from childhood. Mariko initially discouraged Cary-Hiroyuki from acting because she knew how few roles existed for Asians in Hollywood. Cary-Hiroyuki's parents' union was a classic post-war love story: an American soldier of Japanese descent and a rebellious Japanese actress. The marriage didn't last. They divorced when Cary was young, but the East-West fusion they created shaped everything about him, from his split-brain worldview to his lifelong mission as a cultural bridge. Now we look at Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa's unique upbringing, which had been a true split-brain childhood. Cary-Hiroyuki was born in September 27, 1950, in Azabu, Tokyo, Japan, right in the middle of the U.S. occupation. His parents divorced when he was about 5. Cary-Hiroyuki was raised mainly by Mariko in Japan at first, then moved to the U.S. with his father. Cary-Hiroyuki lived a classic army brat life. There were constant relocations: Fort Bragg, North Carolina; Fort Polk, Louisiana; Fort Hood, Texas, and later, Southern California. He lived on military bases where he was surrounded by strict discipline, crew cuts, and American patriotism, while Mariko made sure he kept speaking Japanese and studying traditional arts. Cultural whiplash. At home, Cary-Hiroyuki was exposed to Japanese language, etiquette, and his mother's theatrical world. But at school, Cary-Hiroyuki was the only Asian kid in mostly white or black neighborhoods. He faced constant bullying and racism. Go back to Japan, even though he was American. As a result, Cary-Hiroyuki describes himself as growing up with a split brain, always translating between two worlds, never fully belonging to either. Martial arts as anchor: Cary-Hiroyuki started kendo in junior high in the US and later trained seriously in traditional Japanese karate, University of Southern California, and under the Japan Karate Association in Tokyo. Just like Bruce Lee, martial arts became Cary-Hiroyuki's identity, discipline, and way to feel Japanese pride in America. Teen rebellion and search for identity. Cary-Hiroyuki moved back to Japan for a year of high school. He briefly attended college in Japan as an exchange student, Waseda University, but dropped out. Then he returned to the US. Cary-Hiroyuki worked odd jobs in California: celery fields, limo driver, pizza delivery, while trying to figure out who he was. In short, Cary-Hiroyuki's childhood was a constant pendulum between Tokyo elegance and American military bases, a lonely, intense, and deeply formative clash of cultures that later became the core of both his acting power and his lifelong spiritual philosophical search. Cary-Hiroyuki often said, "I was born with one foot in the East and one in the West, and I spent my whole life learning how to stand." So how did the split-brain Japan-American Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa get into acting? He didn't plan it at all. He was a late bloomer who did not get into acting until 36. At age 35 in 1985, Cary-Hiroyuki was living in Los Angeles after dropping out of college. He wandered through odd jobs, including celery farming in California's Central Valley, driving a limo for celebrities, delivering pizza supplies, and working as a photojournalist for local papers. Experiences that honed his observational skills for character work. On one random day, a friend who worked as an extra dragged him to the set of Bernardo Bertolucci's The Last Emperor, shooting some scenes in LA. Thanks to his mom Mariko, Cary-Hiroyuki spoke fluent Japanese, and since he had martial arts training and looked authentically Asian, which was exactly what casting needed for palace eunuchs and guards,
casting director spotted him in the background holding a spear and asked, "Can you do a line in Japanese?"
And so did Cary-Hiroyuki.
They kept him for several days, gave him the small but visible role of Chang, the eunuch attendant who serves the young emperor. Bertolucci himself noticed Cary-Hiroyuki's stillness and intensity, thanks to his military upbringing, upgraded his part slightly and told him, "You have something. You should act." That was it. No agent, no headshots, no drama school. One accidental day on a historic Oscar-winning film, 9 Academy Awards, Best Picture 1987, launched everything. It was written not in the script, but in Cary-Hiroyuki's stars. After that, agents started calling. Cary-Hiroyuki got a small, uncredited role as a sword-wielding thug in Big Trouble in Little China, 1986. Then came Showdown in Little Tokyo, 1991, Rising Sun, 1993, and the role that made him iconic, Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat, 1995. Cary-Hiroyuki later said, "Hollywood was a complete detour. I was on my way to becoming a healer and martial arts teacher. The universe just grabbed me by the collar and said, 'No, this way.'" At 36, with zero formal training, Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa became an actor, literally by walking onto the right set at the right moment. Here are 10 captivatingly hypnotizing facts about Cary-Hiroyuki, 1950 to 2025. A trailblazing Japanese-American actor, martial artist, and producer whose commanding presence lit up screens for over 4 decades. From villainous sorcerers to wise mentors, his career blended Eastern philosophy with Hollywood grit. Here you go, guys. 1. Martial arts master from a young age. Cary-Hiroyuki began training in kendo during junior high school, later studying traditional Japanese karate at the University of Southern California and under the Japan Karate Association, JKA, in Tokyo, blending discipline with his acting prowess.
2. TV titan and sci-fi staple. Cary-Hiroyuki delivered memorable arcs as Trade Minister Nobusuke Tagomi in Amazon's The Man in the High Castle, 2015 to 2019, and vengeful mentor Satoshi Takeda in ABC's Revenge, 2011 to 2015, earning praise for bridging East-West narratives. 3. Creator of martial alchemy. In the 1980s, Cary-Hiroyuki founded Chushin, or martial alchemy, a unique hybrid of martial arts and holistic healing that emphasized breathwork, self-healing, and spiritual harmony, practices he refined and taught throughout his life. 4. Family man with a private heart. Married to artist Sally Phillips from 1984 until their 2014 divorce, Cary-Hiroyuki was a devoted father to 3 children, son Kaylin and daughters Bryn and Kana, and grandfather to River and Thea Clayton, often drawing from his split-brain heritage for personal depth.
5. A real-life priest role. That inspired faith. In 2015, Cary-Hiroyuki starred as a Christian priest battling Yakuza in the indie film Priest San. The role profoundly moved him, leading to his conversion to Eastern Orthodoxy that same year, where he took the name Panteleimon and embraced it as a path to inner harmony. 6. Russian reality TV bachelor quest. In 2010, Cary-Hiroyuki flew to Moscow to guest star as the lead suitor on Russia's Channel 1 dating show Let's Marry, where he sought a wife amid cultural clashes, a lighthearted detour that highlighted his global curiosity and charm off-screen. 7. Bloodied but unfazed on set. During an intense fight scene in the 1995 Mortal Kombat film, co-star Robin Shou accidentally struck Cary-Hiroyuki hard enough to draw real blood. The veteran actor stayed in character, improvising through the take without breaking, earning crew applause for his stoic professionalism. 8. Documentary advocate for Asian visibility. Cary-Hiroyuki was interviewed for the 2006 documentary The Slanted Screen, which critiques Hollywood's stereotypical portrayals of Asian men. He openly discussed his split-brain heritage and pushed for nuanced roles, influencing a generation of Asian American performers. 9. A 2008 legal hiccup. Amid his rising fame, Cary-Hiroyuki faced a personal low in 2008 when he pleaded guilty to a petty misdemeanor harassment charge involving a girlfriend in Honolulu. He completed community service quietly, later reflecting on it as a humbling lesson in vulnerability. 10. Philanthropic force for cultural bridges. Cary-Hiroyuki quietly championed indigenous Hawaiian language preservation and disaster relief in Asia-Pacific regions, donating time and funds through his Chushin Foundation. He viewed these efforts as martial alchemy for global healing, often mentoring youth in under-the-radar workshops. We've frequently talked about how Cary-Hiroyuki has been the East-West bridge and have looked at the Hollywood buzz. Let's see how Japan views this Tokyo-born Hollywood star priest. Once again, Cary-Hiroyuki's dual identity, rooted in Japan but shaped by American life, fueled a complex reception. Admiration for his global success and martial arts authenticity, mixed with early criticism for stereotypical villain roles during the 1980s-1990s Japan-bashing era in Hollywood. Over time, this evolved into respect for his nuanced portrayals and cultural advocacy. Following his death on December 4, 2025, at age 75, Japanese media and social reactions have been overwhelmingly tribute-filled, mourning a legendary figure who embodied Japanese spirit abroad. Below, I break down key aspects of his perception in Japan. 1. Early career, a symbol of Hollywood's Japan threat, stereotypes. In the late 1980s and early 1990s, amid Japan's economic bubble and U.S. fears of Japanese dominance, Cary-Hiroyuki was often cast as cunning Japanese antagonists, e.g., Cary-Hiroyuki bosses in Showdown in Little Tokyo, 1991, or industrial heirs in Rising Sun, 1993. This led to backlash from Japanese audiences and immigrants, who criticized him for perpetuating negative tropes like the devious Asian villain. He was seen as complicit in Hollywood's yellow peril narratives, with some viewing his roles as harmful to Japan's image during a tense economic rivalry. Despite this, his breakout in The Last Emperor, 1987, an Oscar-winning epic about China's final emperor, earned quiet praise for authenticity, as Cary-Hiroyuki's Tokyo roots and karate training under the Japan Karate Association, JKA, lent credibility. Japanese outlets like film magazines noted his elegant menace as a fresh take on Japanese characters.
2. Global breakthrough. Pride in Mortal Kombat and beyond. Cary-Hiroyuki's role as the shape-shifting sorcerer Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat 1995 and its sequel transformed perceptions. In Japan, where the game originated, he was hailed as the definitive live-action embodiment. His kendo-honed grace and commanding presence made the film a cult hit. Fans appreciated how he elevated a video game adaptation into something fire and culturally resonant, blending samurai discipline with Hollywood spectacle. Later roles in Pearl Harbor, 2001, as Admiral Yamamoto and Memoirs of a Geisha, 2005, as the Baron reinforced his status as a versatile Hollywood samurai. The Man in the High Castle, 2015-2019, where Cary-Hiroyuki played the wise trade minister Nobusuke Tagomi, was particularly beloved in Japan for humanizing Japanese occupiers in an alternate history Diwi-pu setting, mirroring Cary-Hiroyuki's own East-West paradigm reflections. He described it as drawing from his split-brain heritage, earning acclaim for promoting reconciliation.
3. Cultural and personal legacy, a spiritual warrior. Cary-Hiroyuki's creation of Chushin, martial alchemy, a breath-focused hybrid of karate and healing, in the 1980s resonated deeply in Japan, where he studied under JKA master Masatoshi Nakayama. He was viewed as a modern Ronin, not just an actor, but a philosopher who taught harmony and respect through martial arts, often volunteering in Russia and Hawaii to preserve indigenous wisdom. Cary-Hiroyuki's 2015 conversion to Eastern Orthodoxy, taking the name Pantalaimon, intrigued Japanese audiences, blending Shinto Buddhist roots with global spirituality. Off-screen, Cary-Hiroyuki advocated for the Hawaiian language as a language of life and addressed student groups at places like Waseda University, where he studied as an exchange student. This positioned him as a cultural ambassador, countering early stereotypes with humility and depth.
4. Post-death tributes, mourning a beloved legend. News of his passing spread rapidly on Japanese X, formerly Twitter, with users calling him a Riziendo, legend, and Da Haokina Payu, favorite actor. Posts like, Itsumo katsukoyo sugite, zonking shita, he was always so cool, I respected him so much, and Go Ming Fu wo inurishimasu, rest in peace, flooded timelines, focusing on his intensity and warmth. Anime and gaming communities hailed his Mortal Kombat legacy, with one user noting his face was scanned for Mortal Kombat 11, 2019, making him Shang Tsung himself. Media outlets like Deadline's Japanese coverage and zombie film blogs, nodding to his genre work, emphasized his 150-plus projects, ending with heartfelt condolences. Shinyori go Ming Fu wo inori itashimasu. Sincere condolences. No major backlash resurfaced. Instead, he was celebrated as a pioneer for Japanese Americans in Hollywood. In summary, Japan's view of Cary-Hiroyuki shifted from wary scrutiny of his villainous roles to profound pride in his trailblazing career and philosophical depth. He wasn't a household name like domestic stars, e.g. Ken Watanabe, but among cinephiles, gamers, and martial arts enthusiasts, he was an icon of resilient Japanese spirit. His death has unified sentiments in mourning, with fans echoing his own words. Resilience isn't about avoiding falls, but rising every time. As one ex-post put it, arigatou gozaimashita, thank you. A simple, grateful farewell from a nation he bridged. Now, I present you with 10 lessons from Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa. 1. Resilience defines you, not failure. It's not whether you fall or make a mistake, it's what you do when you fall. And I say you stand up. You keep standing up. It's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you stand up. Cary-Hiroyuki embodied this in his career, rising from army brat roots to Oscar-winning films like The Last Emperor. 2. Embrace your dual heritage for deeper perspective. Growing up split between Japanese Navy influences from his mother and U.S. Army life from his father, Cary-Hiroyuki said, "Half my family was from the Imperial Japanese Navy, and the other half was U.S. Army. I pretty much began my life with a split brain sort of thing." Lesson: bridge divides in your life to gain wisdom, as he did representing East-West dynamics on screen. 3. Prioritize self-healing through breath and nature. I believe the body can take care of itself. It's all about self-health. It's about depending on our breathing. A practitioner of kendo and karate, Cary-Hiroyuki founded Chushin in the 1980s, blending martial arts with healing. He advised, "You release more toxins from the body through a deep exhale than you do from anything else." 4. Live with honorable readiness for life's end. Drawing from samurai and Native American wisdom, Native Americans say, "It's a good day to die," and samurai live their life to die honorably, so that kind of energy creates a certain mindset of reactiveness with control. Cary-Hiroyuki, who converted to Eastern Orthodoxy in 2015, focused on spiritual preparation over fear of death. 5. Kindness requires little but means everything. In tributes after Cary-Hiroyuki's passing, fans recalled his warmth. Like comforting a nervous student post-performance, Cary-Hiroyuki lived this: "My true nature is caring and compassionate," despite playing villains. Lesson: small gestures of support can transform lives. 6. Honor languages and cultures as lifelines. The Hawaiian language needs to be studied globally as a language of life. Living on Kauai and advocating for indigenous wisdom, Cary-Hiroyuki urged reconnecting with roots to foster global harmony. 7. Martial arts teach character, not just combat. When volunteering in Russia for martial arts programs, Cary-Hiroyuki insisted, "It is very critically important that I include the teaching of the character of what the truth of martial arts is about." Trained since junior high, he viewed it as harmony and respect. 8. Pursue dreams relentlessly, even if they detour. Hollywood was a detour, although my mother was an aristocrat from Tokyo who ran away to join the theater, so acting is in my genes. Starting as a healer, Cary-Hiroyuki seized opportunities like The Last Emperor, calling it a dream come true. 9. Balance intensity with connection to the earth. Nature is a big part of my weekend. We should remind ourselves that there was something here before us, a force more powerful than us. Cary-Hiroyuki escaped Hollywood's images and people's minds by grounding in the outdoors, promoting humility. 10. Fight wisely. Persist without aggression. In a 2017 interview, Cary-Hiroyuki advised, "Do not fight, but do not give up." Reflecting his Yakuza priest role in Priest-san, this echoes his philosophy. Channel energy reactively with control, uniting samurai discipline and compassion. Cary-Hiroyuki's legacy, spanning over 100 roles and spiritual pursuits, reminds us to live with grace, even in chaos. As fans mourn his recent passing, these lessons endure as his true, soul-stealing power, inspiring strength through vulnerability. Next up are 10 powerful quotes on Cary-Hiroyuki from co-stars, directors, fans, and media after his passing. 1. Robin Shou, Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat. "He was the kindest, most gentle soul I ever met on a set. That intensity you saw on screen, off camera he was pure warmth and wisdom, a true warrior monk." 2. Christopher Lambert, Raiden in Mortal Kombat. "Cary didn't act evil, he became it. When he said 'your soul is mine,' even I believed it for a second. Absolute legend." 3. Paul W.S. Anderson, director, Mortal Kombat. "We cast a lot of people for Shang Tsung, but the moment Cary walked in and gave that little smile, the room went cold. We knew instantly, no one else could touch it." 4. Rila Fukushima, co-star in The Man in the High Castle. "He was my mentor on set. After every take he would bow, look me in the eye, and quietly say, 'Breathe.' That single word carried more teaching than any acting coach." 5. Mortal Kombat fan tribute, viral on X after his death. Growing up Asian in the 90s, seeing Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa own the screen as the ultimate badass gave me permission to take up space. He didn't just play villains, he played kings.
6. Bernardo Bertolucci, director, The Last Emperor. Cary had this rare stillness. In a film full of chaos and ceremony, his eyes told entire stories without moving a muscle. 7. Lyndon Ashby, Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat. Between takes, he'd be teaching us breathing exercises and talking about healing energy. Then action. Instant demon mode. The switch was terrifying and beautiful. 8. Russian Orthodox priest who knew him after his 2015 conversion. He told me, "I spent decades playing men who steal souls. Now I just want to help people find theirs." His baptism name, Pantaleimon the Healer, suited him perfectly.
9. Entertainment Weekly Obituary, December 2025. Tagawa was the rare actor who could terrify you in one breath and make you feel profoundly seen in the next. Hollywood never quite knew what to do with him, which is exactly why we'll never forget him. 10. Fan at a convention meet and greet, shared widely after his passing. I was shaking, starstruck. He took my hand, looked me in the eyes and said softly, "Remember, you are stronger than you know." I still cry thinking about it. Rest easy, sensei. Cary-Hiroyuki's presence left a mark that went far beyond the screen.
Finally, 10. Tantalizing and tangible quotes from Cary-Hiroyuki Tagawa. Cary-Hiroyuki's words often blended his martial arts wisdom, spiritual insights, and reflections on life and career. Here are 10 standout quotes drawn from interviews, his philosophy of martial alchemy, and personal reflections. 1. On resilience. It's not whether you fall or make a mistake, it's what you do when you fall. And I say you stand up, you keep standing up. It's not how many times you fall, it's how many times you stand up. 2. On self-healing. I believe the body can take care of itself. It's all about self-health. It's about depending on our breathing. 3. On nature's power. Nature is a big part of my weekend. Whenever possible, I take Friday and Monday off and spend 4 days outdoors. We should remind ourselves that there was something here before us, a force more powerful than us. 4. On his acting roots.
Hollywood was a detour, although my mother was an aristocrat from Tokyo who ran away to join the theater, so acting is in my genes. Looking back at my career, if there's one word that most people use to describe me, it's intense. You release more toxins from the body through a deep exhale than you do from anything else. The Hawaiian language needs to be studied globally as a language of life. The East-West paradigm is nothing new to me. It's something I've dealt with my whole life, so that really gives me an opportunity to represent it at a very deep level and provides a very wide perspective of being in America and being Japanese. The depth I found in the Orthodox faith is not found anywhere else. No matter what trials await me, I accept them like a true Japanese warrior. I am not afraid of death. I am afraid of being unworthy of God's love. The one thing that about me, being a healer, I just have a different kind of relationship with people. So, I am definitely a different type of celebrity. As Shang Tsung immortally says to the mortal, "Your soul is mine." I truly believe that after watching today's top quotes by Top Guns, we will always savor the fact that our soul, our breathing, our energy belong to no one but ourselves. Our soul is ours. Thanks again and again to the immortal life healer and cultural bridger, Cary-Hiroyuki. We will breathe deeply every second, and please use 1 second to subscribe and follow our YouTube and IG so that you can use 1 minute to get 1% better every day. Your like is mine. Till next time, soul.